Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. This is going to be a reading on Joe Biden and NATO. NATO leaders are gathering in Washington starting Tuesday to shore up the transatlantic support for Ukraine. The heads of Europe and North America are confronting the prospect of who's going to be the president of the United States in 2025. As you might remember, Donald Trump really damaged relationships with NATO, said the U.S. was going to pull out unless all these other states started contributing 2% of their income in there, and the U.S. pays too much, and he feels like the people haven't paid their dues owe the U.S. money, just crazy BS stuff. And, this is exactly what Putin wants. Putin doesn't want NATO. NATO is what prevents Putin from just totally steamrolling Ukraine. Well, obviously, Western support also does that, but he won't dare go into Poland, because if you attack Poland, you initiate Article 5. An attack on one is an attack on all, and all of NATO would come crashing down on Russia. Heck, Russia is having a hard time against their neighbor that they outnumber, but the neighbor has Western weapons. And not even the latest stuff. It's the stuff that we're willing to give them. And that's more, Ukraine they've got the bravery, they've got the ingenuity, and the chops to do that. To defend their country using this weaponry, and are just totally outclassing what was formerly considered to be the second strongest military in the world and a U.S. near peer. And they can do that because Russia's military is rotted and corrupted from the inside out. They have a big military budget, but you can imagine everybody along the chain of command skims a little bit off for themselves. So what do we got on this story? Basically, what I want to ask, I guess Biden did talk with the Prime Minister of England, and they basically said that there was no concern with Biden's mental acuity during the phone call. But he say something if there was? Maybe, maybe not. But at least it's a good start, right? Biden's running the country, and other foreign leaders, they would choose, if Biden was, bubbling like this, they would still choose him over Trump. I'm just saying. So let's look and see what the cards say. What do the European leaders think of Biden's mental acuity? Okay? Entertainment purposes only. Okay, so we got the Page of Pentacles. Clearly, Biden's a young spring chicken with lots of verve and vigor. No. It's going to be about messaging values. Let's see what we're going to cross this with here. Okay. Honestly, they'll look at his health, his health via his messaging. Pentacles are about wealth, health, and values, so we'll talk about health, and pages are about messaging, talking. So part of this evaluation that's going to happen with the NATO leaders, I don't know if I was saying UN, NATO leaders, is that they're going to be in meetings with Biden and Biden representatives. And they're going to be, talking at high level with things, and they'll be able to determine if Biden is mentally with it or not. It's pretty easy to determine really quickly. Donald Trump, I'm surprised, could even stay awake. If his name wasn't said, every 5 seconds, he'd have a hard time with that. So, they'll give him an honest evaluation. They kind of need to. Now, will they talk to folks in the U.S.? They might talk to some people unofficially, depending on relationships. But underneath it all, we have the Sun card. They're going to come to this NATO meeting, and they're going to know if Biden is cognitive or not. I think he is, honestly. I think this whole thing's been blown way out of proportion to the point of gaslighting. But you know what? Let them decide for themselves. In the past, Ace of Wands, Biden has led. He has shown diplomacy. He's gotten the ranks of NATO back aligned after Trump damaged everything. And we have 2 new member nations. in the coalition. And eventually we will get Ukraine in there as well. Russia will get everything they didn't want to happen. Ukraine into NATO, and they've got, Finland's in NATO too. And I believe Sweden also is right next to them. Forgive me if I got that one wrong. I need to look it up. Hang on. The beauty of Google. Sweden and Finland. Okay. Current situation is the Six of Coins. Again, we'll look at his health here. But, it's also, Biden was made a comment that when he took it over the administration, only 9 of 23 member nations were giving 2%. And that's way up. The actual numbers are in this article here. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's 23 of 32 members are now hitting the goal. And Trump was all, no, they're not. Me. But yeah, they'll evaluate his mental abilities while they're doing that too. I think they'll be a little more charitable, given his age and his position and such. I wonder if this has anything to do with the Marjorie Taylor Greene thing to get her out of the news cycle. The overarching energy is the Seven of Swords. Is this Biden's mental capacities declining? Is this somebody trying to take advantage of him? Or is this the owners of mainstream media trying to pull a fast one? It'd be interesting to see what this overarching energy is about. The lesson to be learned is the Six of Swords. There might be some that come away thinking that, he's not as young as he used to be and he needs to take more breaks. There might even be some who privately think he should retire. But I don't think they would ever say that. Because, right now things in NATO are going pretty smoothly. And if this is about the media causing problems, when there's causing problems when there are no problems, they could be next here. So they might be keeping aware of what's going on with this. The outcome is going to be the Queen of Wands. Honestly, I think they feel Biden could do the job. And if Biden were to leave, Kamala Harris would be more than capable of stepping in and doing the job. So I think what I would say is there will probably be some leaders who feel like, Biden can do it. He's fine. There's not a problem here. Others might say, yeah, he's lost a step. And if he were to step down, Kamala Harris would not be a poor second choice at all. One of the things, though, and maybe this is what the Seven of Swords is about, Biden is a great diplomat and has great foreign policy skills. And, this undermining of his health it could very well be starting with Putin, because it's a way to get Biden out of the game, and his ability to unify people and understand complex situations in Europe and the Middle East. I believe that. Let me do a quick reading on Putin and his involvement in this Biden intelligence smear campaign that's going on right now. Now again, Biden did not do himself any favors by his debate performance. So that's why this is even up here. But man, the response, the piling on that has come on since then is not proportional to the debate performance. Putin in all this. Okay. Okay. I was asking if Putin had involvement in this, and that was the overarching energy. And yeah, Putin doesn't want Biden in there. Putin's trying to get Biden out of there and cause that problem there. He's working on an agreement with somebody. Wonder who that could be. Wonder if that's his buddy from Helsinki. Underneath is the Empress. Oh, and this card came up for Marjorie Taylor Greene too. So I would expect that you might start hearing some criticisms from Donald Trump and his acolytes in the news. This could also just represent Russia or Ukraine. Ukraine was the breadbasket with all this grain and stuff in here, and Russia wanted to take over Ukraine and take the spoils of it, and they haven't been able to do it because of NATO's agreement to keep Putin out. In the past, I got the double card. Yeah, oh God, Putin had a useful idiot in Trump, and he probably didn't think Trump was that useful. Just thought of him as an idiot. But Trump did what you told him to, and that's good enough. He probably screwed things up, and you had to give him suitcases full of cash in order to do it. But yeah, Trump had a useful idiot. Whereas NATO relies on mutual respect and such. Putin relies on control and manipulation and things along those lines. Current situation, NATO is showing strength, and he's trying to break the strength of NATO because united, they are too much for Russia. Russia cannot do what they want to do with Russia in there, with a united NATO. Current situation, it's not working. Putin's efforts to remove Biden are not working. Nothing he's doing is really working particularly well. Yeah, you've got some media blitzes going on and people are hammering on Biden, but it's not impacting the presidential race. It's not impacting NATO relations, and it's not making the Ukraine war go any easier. The lesson to be learned is the Knight of Coins. NATO's doing well, and they're united. Putin, if this was something for him to learn, sometimes it doesn't matter how much money you throw at your allies, because or at least attacking them via NATO via their funding or lack of funding, trying to sow division that way, it hasn't worked. If anything, a bunch of countries have stepped up and kicked in more money, which means that now your money strategy that Trump has always been on about doesn't work anymore. You have to come up with something different. And he'll try. Always looking for something new. Always looking for a way to cause problems with NATO so that he can help things along with in Ukraine. But honestly, I don't... Yeah, I don't think he's being wildly successful with this. He's not having, again, he had a lot more success with Trump because Trump caught everybody flat-footed and off guard when he was saying he was talking about pulling out of NATO. Caused an absolute panic because nobody ever would have expected the U.S. to say anything like that or even threaten to say something like that. Yeah, again, Helsinki. But, it just, for us, it just told us just how corrupt Trump was and who he was beholden to. We pretty much knew who it was. That just proved it through and through. But the true patriots like Marjorie Taylor Greene and her buddies that signed the Declaration of Independence, like, I don't know, Jesse James and Doc Holliday and Louis from Taxi. Yeah, the dumbing down of America. We'll get through this. I think NATO's they're gonna work with Biden. There might be some folks again that's like, if Kamala Harris got in there, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But generally speaking, they'll stay behind Biden because he's a good statesman. He's a good, he has a great understanding of foreign policy, and he's been a leader to NATO, and he's brought that coalition back together again, and that's driving Putin bananas. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one.